What's going on, guys? It's Mr. DEBT Joe Lorick from the Money Etiquette Group here with a quick breakdown of the stimulus package that was just passed by the House. It only needs to be signed by the President to become law. Once it does, we have a lot of changes, a lot of impacts that are going to matter to you as an individual. If you're married, it'll matter to you. If you have kids, if you're self-employed, if you're a gig worker, if you have a small business, these details matter. If you filed your 2019 tax returns and you earned less than $75,000 for the year, you are eligible for a full $1,200 stipend or stimulus payment. Again, a full $1,200 stimulus payment. If you filed as a couple and you made less than $150,000 for 2019, then you are eligible for $2,400, which is $1,200 per person. Also, keep in mind, if you didn't file your 2019 taxes, they'll use your 2018 tax returns to determine that amount. If you filed as head of household, you are eligible for a full payment as long as you earned less than $112,000 for the year. Again, if you filed as head of household, you're eligible for full payment as long as you earned less than $112,000 for the year. Also, if you're an individual that earned more than $75,000 but less than $99,000 for the year, you are still eligible for a partial payment. So you won't get the $1,200, but you will get a smaller incremental payment because you did earn a little bit more, but you're still eligible. If you earned as an individual more than $99,000, then you're just not eligible. However, if you did claim a dependent in 2019, for each dependent that's under the age of 16, you can get $500. Again, for each dependent that's under the age of 16, you can get $500. There is a limit. If married couples that have 2 children earn more than $218,000 a year, you are not eligible for any payment, including for your dependents. Again, if you earned more than $218,000 a year, you are not eligible for any payment, not for your dependent and not for yourself or your spouse. When it comes to delivery for this money, the IRS will deposit funds directly into your checking account that they have on file. And they will follow that by a paper statement confirming that payment has been sent. That statement will arrive 3 weeks after the direct deposit into your account, and right now it looks like 3 weeks from the time that it's signed into law, that's when the payments will arrive. There are no income taxes on these stimulus payments. Again, you will not be charged income taxes on these stimulus payments. If your wages are currently being garnished, that will not impact your ability to get a full payment. Again, none of your payments will be taken for garnishments. They will not be redirected to other places. If you're getting garnished because you owe back taxes or whatever, you're not going to have an interception. Okay, this money will be directly deposited into your account. Some other updates. Unemployment. Unemployment has been expanded for those who are gig workers, part-time workers, anyone that works, and even self-employed that has some income that you can prove. As long as you can prove that you've had a reduction in income or loss of income due to the coronavirus, you could be eligible for unemployment checks. From the federal government, we're talking about roughly up to $600 per week, and we're talking about through July the 31st. Again, up to $600 per week through July 31st. State level unemployment benefits have been extended by 13 weeks through December 31st, 2020. Remember, it's a separate amount and you can receive both. You can receive an unemployment check from the federal government and from your state, and how much you get will depend on which state you live in and the laws of that state. However, the time frame in which that state can give you an unemployment check has been extended by 13 weeks. Keep in mind, again, guys, if you're a gig worker, you drive for Uber or Lyft, and you can't drive as much because of coronavirus. If you've been laid off, if you are self-employed and you experience a severe depletion of income, a reduction of income, you are eligible for unemployment benefits. When it comes to mortgage payments, regardless of your delinquency status, owners of residences ranging from single-family homes to fourplexes may request payment forbearances up to 180 days. Again, payment forbearances up to 180 days from their loan provider, provided they have to say that COVID-19 is the reason they're not able to make their full payments. So you do have to prove that this COVID-19 pandemic impacted your ability to pay. There will be no fees or interest charged during the forbearance period. Again, this is a up to 180-day forbearance based on a COVID-19 economic hardship. When it comes to renters, there has been a nationwide moratorium that's been put out there to protect you and help you if your landlord uses a mortgage that's backed by Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac or a federal institution, which would be most mortgages. So essentially, you will not be charged any interest, and you won't be charged late fees for non-payment of rent for up to 120 days after the bill is signed into law. Doesn't mean that you don't have to pay back the money. What it's saying is that you won't be, and it doesn't mean you won't be evicted. That's state by state. What it does say is that you won't be charged late fees or interest on any late payments for up to 120 days after this bill is signed into law. When it comes to student loans, payments are suspended for federal student loans until September 30th. Again, payments are suspended until September 30th, meaning no interest will accrue, and during this period you won't be receiving a late fee for not paying. Again, from now or until, well, when the bill's signed, but from the time that it's signed until September 30th, again, payments are suspended on federal student loans. From an investment standpoint, there are advantages for people outside of stimulus checks, okay? For people who have investment accounts, IRAs and 401ks, you can now more easily take money out of your account without having to pay tax penalties because of the coronavirus pandemic. Your reasoning has to be related to coronavirus, but here are some of the stipulations that have been put out there. If you have an IRA, you can now borrow up to $100,000 from your account for any use. Up to $100,000 from your account for any use, and you can do a 3-year term loan on that money without any tax penalties. Again, without any tax penalties, up to $100,000 from your IRA. You can borrow, take a loan, no tax penalties, up to 3 years. If you withdraw money from your IRA, you can withdraw up to $100,000 with no tax penalty, provided that it's COVID-19 related. Again, provided it's COVID-19 related. When it comes to your 401k and withdrawals, you can now take more than 50% of your balance out for COVID-19 related reasons. So previously you could not take out more than, no matter what the reason, I don't care if you were putting money down on a house, I don't care if you were going through a hardship withdrawal or a loan, you could not take more than 50% of the balance. But that is done. Now you can take double of what you could take in the past. Okay, that's double. You can also structure a loan up to $100,000 for up to 180 days after the bill is signed into law. And you won't have to pay tax penalties. Also, starting in 2020, you can structure a loan from your 401k for up to $100,000 without penalty. And lastly, for all the small business owners, of course, you can go to the SBA website, and now they've released up to $349 million for SBA loans through its 7A loan program. And they also have the economic injury disaster loan for small businesses and nonprofits. You can apply through the SBA website. And this is important because that nonprofit part matters. A lot of churches, a lot of religious organizations, they're not going to be receiving the same money that they usually would, and they still need to function. While you can get a economic injury disaster loan through the SBA. You just got to go through the website and make sure you apply. These are just a few of the important details when it comes to the stimulus package, which will be signed into law. Again, once the president signs it into law, it could be today, it could be tomorrow, but these are just some of the important things you should pay attention to. This was a 800 and roughly 90-page document, so there's so much more in there, but when it comes to how it impacts you, the regular person, that's what I'm speaking about today. I'm not going to talk about the airline industry is getting, you know, what banks might be getting, what the insurance companies are getting. This is about you. Make sure you do me a favor and like the video. Also subscribe to the channel and share it. Make sure as many people know about this as possible. So many people are wanting to know, are they going to get checks? Should they expect anything? It's a long document we're talking about when it comes to the bill, 890 pages. Not everyone is going to go through that. But these are some of the important details that you want to know about, especially if you're an investor, because it looks like you can put more money into the market without having to pay penalties when you know the market's going to bottom. You can take money out of your account, not pay penalties, not pay as many tax penalties, and certainly you can use that to better use when you know the market's going to drop. But I'll make another video about that another time. Either way, guys, I appreciate your support. Subscribe to the channel. You have a good one. Stay safe out there.